Good afternoon, everyone. Our names are Tony, Kevin, and Nemin, and today we will be discussing the sarcophagus of the spouses. In our presentation today, we will go over the form, function, content, context, historical background, themes, and related artworks, and what we think will be present on the College Board AP exam. We have also prepared a really short Kahoot to brush up on the information in this slideshow. The basic identification for this artwork is its name, the sarcophagus of the spouses, the date it was built, 520 BCE. The material/form that was used was painted terracotta, and it is from the Etruscan culture.
The form for this artwork was painted terracotta, and it was a high relief sculpture. And as you can see in this picture below, that is an example of a high relief sculpture. The function for this artwork was it was originally used to store cremated human remains, and it also showed gender equality because there was also a woman in the picture, and it showed it in Etruscan society, and it was used to bury remains, and it served as a grave marker, and mostly upper class members were it was used to symbolize their wealth and prestigious. And this is an example of a Etruscan work that had woman and man in it as well. The content of this artwork was that there was two figures, a man and a woman, and they were laying down in a seat, and it most likely depicts a banquet or dining on a couch, and it had intimacy that most artwork at the time did not have, and it was more of a naturalistic than other artworks during this time, and it had high relief and 3D depth, and they both were wearing robes, and the woman had a headdress on, and while the man did not, and both of them had pretty long hair, and it is split in two around the middle and of the hips around the hips of the woman, and the artwork was actually highly stylized, as seen from the hair and chair, and the portions are elongated. The dimensions for this artwork was 3 feet, 3 feet 9.5 inches by 6 feet and 7 inches.
So the context here is we have the this is from coming from the Etruscan civilization, so the very beginning of Rome and the Italian peninsula. It was made 11 years before the last Etruscan king was removed from Rome. So yeah, when it was initially discovered, they had to compile all the pieces because it was broken up into many different pieces. So in about 400 pieces. So it was compiled into all into one piece. Sarcophagus was found in the city Caire, and another version is actually located in Rome. And the one we look at here is located in the Louvre at Paris. It was discovered through excavations at the Banditaccia necropolis, where it's held. It is displaying more general quality than obviously previous cultures didn't have as much. For example, the Greeks, they did not view women as equal as men. Uh, they used terracotta rather than the marble, which also most Greeks used as in their sculptures. One artwork this is comparable to is the Ludovisi battle sarcophagus. So they are both used as a grave and like a grave marker. They both use high relief coming out of something. They are both from the Mediterranean area, and they both basically can represent the afterlife or death. The grave stele of Hegeso is another example of one what this artwork is comparable to, because it displays two figures. It is another grave marker. It is high relief, and we see high relief and grave markers throughout all of the Roman and Greek sculptures. The standard ore is very comparable to this one as well, but although this one is from a different not non-Greek or Roman sculpture, and it depicts people and is both from Mediterranean culture.
So there are three themes to this sculpture, namely mood, afterlife, and gender equality. So the theme of mood is depicted by the animated expressions and faces of these figures, as most artwork, especially in the Mesopotamian cultures, lacked a lot of emotion. The afterlife is also portrayed as a theme because it's used as a gravesite marker, which helps to symbolize the eternity of afterlife and to show the funerary spirits and customs of the Etruscan civilization. The theme of gender equality is also shown because the man and the woman sit next to each other almost as equals, which is very uncommon, especially at this time. And the pictures here show the theme of mood as the faces and the poses are very lively and animated. So lastly, our final predictions for what will be on the AP exam. There's 5 main things. The number one is one of the most important features of this artwork is that it gives big insight on the Etruscan culture because there's no surviving records besides the art of this civilization. Number 2 is that this is one of the first examples of Etruscan art and Roman art in general. Number 3 is that it has a very intimate feeling as the figures reach out, as you can see with some of the pictures we've already shown. And number 4, you should be able to know how to compare and contrast it with other cultures' arts, particularly Greek art, which is very frequently compared to it. And lastly, you need to know that it showed the gender equality because of the male and female figures sitting together.
And here are the works cited.
And
Thank you
lastly,
for
here's our works cited, and thank you for listening to our presentation.
thank you for listening.